And it's that simple. We're live. And it looks good.
Pretty slick, Duke.
I like it. I like it. Once we get all the team working on this, it'll be a good little get together. I think we can have up to 10 people here, right in the chat, all connected, high quality stream going out 1080p. Welcome, everybody. One Love community here. We're doing the Word with Bird. I go by Cam most places. Bird with me right there.
Hi, guys.
He's a well-known Steemian, however, blurter, DTuber, and an avid investor in our social blockchains. Now, that may not be the topic we always discuss, but that's what brought us together. So,
more like the scourge of all these social blockchains, but
yeah,
instead of investor, I'm always like the wrench.
It's your activity is an investment, right?
Yeah, well, not really. I'm not in anything.
Not anymore.
Not really. No. I'm just trying to find the next one, or maybe put a team together to launch my own. I think what needs to happen. So just hopefully get lucky there.
That will be impressive. I know we've had a couple good talks about ideas of what works, what doesn't, the pain points of users, and then how to overcome them over several of our other conversations. So it'd be really good to see.
Yeah, it's quite like a big project in scope. So you just gotta put together a couple of guys and just start working on it for fun. But like the markets are pretty cool. This is like a mega bull cycle.
Yeah.
So guys like us can just kind of ride it and have a lot of freedom, it seems.
It just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah. I think it's gonna pull. I'm waiting for like another summer sell-off and then like a bottom. And then a bottom in like maybe like August or something.
Yeah.
And then it gets ready to go to like 100 and then 200 again, Bitcoin.
Yeah, you were saying previously you were thinking it's going to be a really short time between like then and now. Like we're not expecting years per se, but it feels like the pressure is on.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, there's two ways it could go. It could just go back to 20 and just rest for a couple of years. But there's just no way that happens because I've been in Bitcoin since 2013 and the fundamentals are just, the macro fundamentals are just so strong. Everyone's talking about it. It's just all over everywhere. It's 2 trillion asset class, probably heading to 10 trillion, and that would line up right with like the 200K kind of mark.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens then is like, and here's where the real opportunity is, and here's where I'd like to kind of go on this journey with you. You're very focused in this like social blockchain world, but if you get a chance to step out of that, you can go make some real money and like.
That's what I'm hoping. It's learning how to make wise investments per se, how to target, like as you're saying, you're looking for that next big thing, that one that's going to kick off, and maybe you could make a return on it. Maybe it will be the next like genuine revolutionary take over the world platform, but it's the learning to identify that and then also learning to be confident in the choices that I make. Like I've made some crappy ones over the years, so the ones that have worked I've stuck to.
Yeah. What's worked? Like what?
Well, I've had obviously Steem was a very wise choice of mine.
Yeah.
Things like not specific to projects, but mining random coins to turn that into, say, Bitcoin and then ride the wave up. But generally speaking, like most of my investment is just earning from content. Like you said, I'm very focused on the social aspect. One thing I see a lot on DTube lately is the DeFi project and like Hex, right? And I'm not even sure how to get involved with that. It's like I'm social or crypto illiterate in a lot of ways, and my eyes start rolling when people start talking about the figures of numbers calculating back and forth and then return on investment. I'm like, I make content, I earn crypto.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not that difficult. Like the DeFi, it's like the DeFi is like it's the big like innovation that we get out of this cycle is these like automated market makers and decentralized exchanges.
Yeah.
So I mean, definitely some opportunity is to find like the Uniswap of like the next killer platform. If you can find that early, that's going to be a big bet going into the end of the year. Like PancakeSwap on Binance Coin was a pretty strong story this year. So that's kind of what I'm looking at now trying to find like the next kind of killer platform, and then the next, AMM DeFi DEX on that platform. And then because the way they're all inflation based, it's like Steem and DTube, where more coins come into the system to fuel the system, and in this sense, they fuel like instead of going to content, they reward like liquidity providers. So like they reward people who risk their funds to like provide, to make the market. And
yes,
and
thank you for that.
There's
that relation point.
Yeah, and then there's a few other like mechanisms that help, like projects bootstrap and just get awareness, kind of like go to market. So yeah, that's what hopefully we'll keep on these Thursday calls and just try to find some of these.
Yeah, for sure.
And you'll end up further, because I think you probably spent a lot of your time just doing really good content, but like maybe not in the right places, because like some of these platforms aren't worth anything. So like, what's the point? I mean, people would argue against that, but your time is money, and if you're going to do good content, like you should have money, but money in terms of freedom to like live what you and your family want. Like,
well, that's exactly it, and why I kind of looked forward to these conversations starting this stream, because I'm a community leader, right? So I'm involved with the platforms that my community is involved with, and that takes up most of my time. So we started as One Love DTube. We're very hard focused on DTube. Naturally, we kind of decided to separate ourselves and try include all of our other members in their platforms. So we've adopted like members from Steem, Hive, and Blurt, but most of the members have still all come from those hyper focused communities already. So we have a community within a community. So as leader of One Love, I'm kind of looking for the ways that I could branch myself out, which is essentially branching the community out, discover something that might not be on our radar to then make use of it. And it doesn't have to be like most people want to bring users to one platform or the other, but as an actual outlet of our expression and what we hope to see for the future, right? That's kind of where we're all going with this. Is it's not just about like, I want money, but I want money that is smart and improves everybody's existence.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah. And then like since you're leading like a little tribe, then if we go to the right places, then everyone's kind of better off.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So is there anything on your radar in the last little while that you've really wanted to jump into but haven't quite yet?
Yeah, a couple of these other platforms are on my radar, like Solana, like I kind of spent all year on Binance Smart Chain, just getting to know that project getting to know that project and the whole ecosystem. It's just actually I had a dream last night that ADA passed Ethereum, and that like scared me.
Why did it scare you? That I would love to see ADA pass.
I'm a huge fan of Cardano. I don't know. It's just kind of like this like thing that's never done anything. It's like just won't go away. But it looks like it's gonna pass. Yeah, Binance going down a little bit. Well, we all have our favorites. It's like these are all like countries or
Yeah.
So just Binance with my history and doing the deal to get Steam on Binance and like meeting the team, knowing some of the people on the team, and just they're and like the macro kind of strength of having the biggest exchange, the biggest like name in the industry run their own like centrally managed Ethereum killer just really gets me excited. And like we are seeing a lot of strong projects there. But like, these other ones have like kind of fanboy kind of things where, but and that means things too, because people just love like Polkadot. People just love, and the Kusama thing is kind of hot now. And then, Binance does kind of like get maybe a little bad rap for being like quote unquote centralized, whatever that, means. It's more like a religious kind of conversation. So things I've been meaning to look at: Solana, that ecosystem. I've looked at Polygon Matic a little bit, but I haven't really used it. So those two, and then Polkadot Kusama, and then the other one, a Huobi token chain, Huobi Eco Chain. And yeah, Huobi Eco Chain and Thorchain Rune Connect is like an interoperability play. Yeah, there's lots of stuff to look at. So the next 2 months, I think, are a really good time to like make some moves. If we get a couple more sell-offs, if we see like, Bitcoin get comfortable in the high 20s, what's going to happen is all these alts that did 20x gains are going to like revert to the mean, I think. And then
yeah, that's the scary outcome everybody wishes not to see, but
well, no, that's what you make the bet. That's what you make the bet on. That's what I want to see, because then it's like a reset. Like if like Decentraland, like some of these. Like
see, my perspective is from the project, because it's like I've only ever thought of like what would happen if I launched a token, and I was like, damn, sell-off pressure would suck, like.
Yeah.
But on the investor end, see, this is great, like that's a example of just my perspective of the situation. It needs just a slight shift. So it's like, okay, so it is more so an opportunity than a problem, because you wait for the low and pick up more tokens. But
yeah,
again, it's banking on that, looking into the project and finding something that will make it be the one that rebounds, right?
Yeah. So it's like I'm looking at a couple of them. Like if BAT, basic attention token, like it could lose it could go back to 30 cents. Like it could, and if it does that, then it would seem like that's like the signal for like a healthy kind of reset. And then because what happens is when Bitcoin 5x's, the big whales make a move into the alts to trick everyone. The alts go crazy. The stupid money moves in. They take their Bitcoin out and more. They take everyone's Bitcoin, and then the bottom just falls out. And then once that's completely washed out, then the cycle resets, and it just happens again. And then Bitcoin, so the Bitcoin 5x would be 25K. It climbs to 50, and then it shoots up parabolic to over 100, and that's another Bitcoin 5xer. And then into January, February next year, the same thing's going to happen again. Once they kind of smell the top of Bitcoin, they pull the plug. They they start making their moves into the alts to pump them up. The stupid money comes in more stupid money will come in because there's more people looking at this, so more people, you know, by extension of the people looking at, like, you know, everyone's got a couple friends that are maybe waiting to get it. So these are just like network effect things, and so that's how Bitcoin does another 5x, and then the alts do a 20 to 50x. Like the right alts do 20 to 50x, and that's the single like life-changing opportunity in the next 9 months is like buy the low and these alts, wait for this cycle to play out, and then just get 20 to 50 times your return. But you have to sell at the top, and there's only like a couple week window. There's only like a couple week window to sell.
Ooh, that's scary.
This is the game.
I feel safe in my crypto experience so far. That is scary, man.
I guess the game's not for everyone. I mean, I didn't really play that game this year. Like this year was more just like kind of taking profit on some old positions maybe. And then, you know, just going long. Like,
yeah,
you know, when Bitcoin gets to like, I think Bitcoin will hit like 100K, you know, then maybe sell one Bitcoin to like, be an entrepreneur for a couple of years. So.
Yeah, the projects that I've been making small, consistent investments in are ones that relate to interconnectivity of chains, or I like ADA, you know, ADA, Cardano.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that you brought that up, but my family.
Maybe that's why. Maybe I knew you would say that. And that's what the dream is about.
Yeah. No. So.
I went to number 2 and I was so pissed. I was like, I don't like Charles. He seemed disingenuous. I don't know. It's just.
My personal position is it's not going to be the blockchain solution per se, but it's seeming to position itself as the corporate solution to intermediary merchants, banks, large institution that way. So I kind of see this blockchain adoption thing. 2 different markets are evolving. So you have your market where there's everybody that wants decentralization, and then there's your market where everybody is plugged into the main banks. And we're making them work together, but I believe when legislation comes down, we're going to end up with a shift more towards a separation. So we'll actually have like the decentralized hubs that operate decentralized. Then, you know, something like ADA will allow all of your crypto transactions to be used as money. You know, so you'd go to the store and pay directly with Bitcoin. None of this transferring to fiat and funding the fiat, you know, bubble through crypto, but it would actually be allowing you to use the crypto directly to make the payment, where the decentralized model, I think, will still end up in a situation where you're forced to try find ways of using that crypto unless it's a service that accepts crypto directly. So it'll be like the evolution of your mainstream market on one side, and then the evolution of true crypto adoption on the other. So ADA is like the mainstream solution, and then true crypto adoption still has to happen.
Yeah. Okay. So like,
and that would be like Tesla accepting Bitcoin. You know,
so kind of like Ripple, kind of like the enterprise play a little bit. Yeah. More people talk about Cardano than a lot of other projects. I've just always been, and you know, it's been a mistake because I've been around since 2013, and like, you know, I could have picked up $500 bags of all these coins and have millions of dollars today, that I just didn't do that.
And 3 years now I've been in it, and I got in just at the beginning of the big hype. So I've done all right as a content creator, mining through my content. I did a little bit of mining early on, so I've earned a few sacks here and there. They've grown a fair bit, but if I had known how to make investments at the very beginning, I was doing some math, and like if I had known like just hang on to your Bitcoin, I would be probably looking at financial freedom today,
Yeah.
right?
Or buy some
So
Doge. If we would have just known, hey, buy some Doge, you turd.
exactly, Doge alone. Okay, I had 10,000 Dogecoin at one point.
Wow. Yeah.
Someone sent it to me, and I was like, okay, great. And so I converted it into Steem. Well, what happened with Steem? Steem tanked.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So how are the nodes looking? We're gonna try to. Are you keep going up and down
What's that?
on DTube?
Oh yeah, we're battling for keeping me in consensus.
You
I want my
weren't you? You were like you seemed to fine.
uh we brought Cryptoinfo Zero up into consensus. He's one of our newest leader candidates. We wanted to show him a lot of support, so we got all the leaders to campaign to get him in, and I ended up falling below consensus. At the same time, my leaders stopped producing, so I don't know why I was disconnected from the network, but somehow I got disconnected from the network. I needed to restart my node. So it kind of played together that way. They're like, okay, well, drop him from consensus while he's not producing. Um, so that happened. Now I've been asking people to try keep me at spot 13. I want my spot 13. I don't want to be 7. I don't want to be number 1. Don't want to be 12. I want to be Duke 1-3 in spot 13. So now we're actually kind of orchestrating to try keep my voting weights in between the variants. So there's a little bit going on there. So my supporters, I actually asked some people, I'm like, hey, could you unvote me? They're like, what? I was like, well, I'm up at spot 11, and if you unvote me, it bring me down to spot 13 where I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh well, it'll be an ongoing battle for me to maintain the bottom of consensus. That's my goal.
Nice.
But yeah, my node with that problem, I think I solved where the issues are coming from. So along with going over those logs with the gentleman I was talking to, we discovered another source of an issue, two separate issues, the disconnect and um, the issue of not being able to reconnect, caused by two separate issues. So I'm hoping with help by the end of tonight, I'll have everything running clean, ready to go. So yeah, we can discuss that later. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So other than that, I'm actually really excited about some news that is kind of nothing to do with crypto, but it is big news for anybody that follows Canadian politics, interested with world events and saving the environment. Yeah, the pipeline was canceled, which means there's no longer a war between the native people, the people of the area, and our Canadian government, which was actually like putting lives in jeopardy and shit.
Yeah.
It's like the one thing you never want to do is piss on another man's land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that was I'm hoping to get out there and record some content. I'm sure we'll see people parading, and that's the usual Canadian thing. We like to parade. We'll all get together and have a parade. Look, we won. Look at us. And I'll get out there with my GoPro and I'll be like right in there recording everything. Try and make a video out of it so I can mine some more coin.
Yeah.
Now, going forward, if we could identify a few projects and maybe even document that process for people going and be like, look, I'm going to make this move. You advise me, we keep track of it, go forward, and it could be like a trial investment per se to see how it goes. But yeah, it's I'm just curious. I've seen other people do it with their viewership, where they're like, they get their viewership to like make bets. Where do I place my money? I've got so much money, but I'd rather take a little bit of a less risky approach with what little crypto I earn. So, would you be willing to do that?
What's that? Like a little game?
Yeah, like if I dedicate, say, 100 of my crypto rewards, and we figure out a project and convert it over, track the whole thing throughout, maybe pick a couple different things here and there, and just see where it goes, as we're just as like a side discussion to our topics that we talk about each day, what interests us, what we're feeling and thinking for the crypto space. We also have this like, look, we're doing a game of tracking a crypto investment. What project do
Yeah,
you think
like
we
a
should
one,
look at?
like a
We could
one.
ask our viewers.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So that'll be like the first little kind of ongoing thing for this. I will convert probably some of my Steem and Hives, so I have about $100 worth of something or other to try make an investment with. Maybe two, depending. I don't have a whole lot left to play with after this crazy COVID frickin' hurt myself, can't go back to work BS.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm going back to work. Oh my God.
Where are you working?
BNC Foods.
BNC Foods.
Yeah, just cold food storage. I build skids. I pick boxes and build skids. That's my whole job.
Nice. It's a lot of manual work.
I really enjoy it. I
Yeah.
really enjoy it. I always have. I think if I lost my ability to do manual labor, I might feel as if I lost some part of myself. Um,
Yeah.
that was my realization over the last 7 months. So I've really committed myself to, like, every morning I get up, I walk the dog, I come home, I do my exercises, my stretches, have my shower, rub down with my creams and massage, right? So then I'm set, I'm ready to go. And then that kind of is the driving force to getting better, is starting a routine morning, or a morning routine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm finding is that as I identify the different things that I can't do, the overcoming with some sort of solution, even if it's not really like being able to do it, but it's finding some way of being able to do something, is really helping me to then apply and actually put more effort into the exercise. It's kind of where I'm. So getting out there and just going out and working for a day, then coming home, I felt more into doing the exercise, which is actually giving me the improvement.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, so how's the new place treating you?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like Texas. Everyone's really nice down here.
Is there
More freedom.
anything that you didn't expect?
Not really. I've been here a couple times, so I kind of knew what I was moving into.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Starting to get it. Oh, it rained. It rained like nonstop, like the whole month of May, which was kind of weird, but because there's not like a rainy season here. It's just, but there's always like crazy lightning storms, um, which is pretty cool, especially with the view. but
Yeah.
and it just nonstop for like a month. And so now, I mean, now it's kind of stopped, and it's just so that kept it cool, but now it's heating up where it's like 90 every day.
I wish, man. I wish. We're still getting the dew in the morning here in Canada.
Yeah,
I'm putting on my jacket when I go out. Like,
yeah, no thanks. That's just I'm happy to be in like a nice kind of climate. I mean, it gets hot, so we'll see if I'm still happy in like August, like the heat of like the middle of summer when it's like 100 every day. But then you just go outside or you go out in the morning.
you'll be wearing a wife beater, and I'll still be sitting here in my nice shirt.
Like last night, I was just sitting on the balcony. It's real. It's real. It's like a sauna out almost. Like it was 90 degrees, like even late at night. It's kind of cool.
I bet.
I like the heat. It just feels good. It makes it's like health giving. It seems.
Hmm. No, I completely agree with that.
Compared to
My
cold.
coworkers, okay, I work in a freezer, right? So my coworkers think I'm crazy because I go from the freezer, which is like -20, my fingers will be frozen, my toes will be starting to freeze. There's frost all over my facial hair, and I'll go directly into my hot car outside sitting in the sun. And they're like, "How can you do that crazy temperature change?" And I'm like, I was a baker for 11 years. I'm
Yeah,
still climatized for 40 degrees, sweltering, being radiated by the oven. Like, my body actually wants to be radiated. So,
yeah,
like, I feel good when I go lay in the sun. I feel good when I'm cooking myself. Like the sauna, that feels so good.
yeah. I'm about to go right when we hang up. I'm gonna go swim a couple laps and go to the sauna.
I'm hoping to start do that soon. I got permission. I'm allowed to swim.
Nice. Yeah,
I
that's
had
good
to
exercise.
yeah, talk to the surgeon yesterday. He said that as long as I don't try do like any diving, um, or cannonballs or anything like that that could cause impact when I hit the water and extension of my back, I'm good to go. So I could like swim laps and swim under the water, all that stuff, and start doing the resistance training, like water aerobics kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Um, we're we're hoping to get the muscle working again, but he's honestly not very hopeful. So I hope to prove him fucking wrong because I want to run one day again.
yeah. So that's your back.
Well, it's my S1L1, which then translated into nerves going down my legs. So at least one of my muscles isn't responding as it should be still. They believe it's the calf or the one that connects to the calf that then triggers it.
Yeah,
But, but yeah, it's like nervous system stuff, I believe. And only time will tell.
yeah. Well, good luck in the mind. The mind body connection. Big. You just keep at it. It sounds like the routine and getting back to work. It's all good stuff.
Yeah. Now, if I could get some financial freedom going, then you really can feel good about your existence. When you're
Yeah,
under the pressure of the man, you're under the pressure of bills, ink, debt, uh, the battles that exist throughout your life is, yeah. So here's hoping we'll get
yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean, now's the time. Within, like we said, like we walked through the whole market setup today. This next year, guys like you should be able to do it if you make the right moves.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's pretty good for our first stream. Half an hour.
Yeah, yeah, good setup. Thanks for setting this. Thanks for getting everything going again.
Yeah, and I think we'll keep doing this through Restream. I like this setup so people could see. We actually have a nice background. If we get more people in here, we can
Cool.
display it. I think this is cool. It's like we're on the couch.
Yeah.
There you go. special guest Bird. This was The Word with Bird. I go by Duke. One Love Community coming at ya. If you ever want to join, follow up. I'll make sure I put the link in the description to our Discord server. Hit me up, Dookie, and we'll figure out when we can get you on.
All right, guys.
Bye.